All right, we are at the Kessler booth, one of my favorite stops with Eric, checking out some new products. We've got a lot to look at.
Okay.
First thing, we're going to look at some updates to your slider series.
Yeah, so this year what we're doing is just kind of perfecting what we have and refining things. So we've now have the Flywheel accessory. We keep getting, recent people ask us, when are you guys going to do a Flywheel? The funny thing is we were kind of one of the first people, if not the first, with our pocket dolly. That crank handle is actually a weighted flywheel. So now we have that option for the cine slider and also coming for the stealth as well. That just gives you that nice inertia and coastery feel that helps to float the motion out to give it a really easy, achievable, or I should say achievable and easy smooth shot.
Is it, now how does it attach? Is there...
So it just snaps right on, so the crank handle pops off,
okay.
And then the weighted flywheel would just go on in place of the crank handle.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. The other thing we're doing is, continuing, we came out with our quick release plates, which have been, a big hit for us. So now we're, continuing on with our mounting options. We have our low profile ball head, which is nice for your smaller setups, but we have guys wanting to mount center drive heads and large other rigs. So we came up with this angle plate. What's unique about this, it actually can rotate. And then on the one side, it's an infinite adjustment. In between, up to, I think it's about 100 degrees. And then on the other side, you have locked pockets, kind of like on our K-Pod system. And those are at, dedicated degree angles, so like 90 degrees, 60, 45, and 30. And you can lock it there. So it's very, very strong. Weight capacity about 50 pounds, or of 50 pounds.
Okay. So yeah, great for center drive, great for second shooter, whatever somebody might.
Yeah, or put a fluid head on it or anything like that.
I've used this with center drive. It can work.
Yeah, it is actually very strong. I mean, a lot of people don't realize it can. I think it's rated for 45 pounds.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, it is. But something like this is going to give you the ultimate stability.
Right, much more robust. Yep. All right, Eric. I've got a second shooter. I love it a lot. Great tool. Inherently, it's a 3-axis system, so you can do your slide, your pans, and your tilts. You recently added the ability to use your focus, I assume, motors. So if you've already got a cine drive, you can use that, or you can purchase them. But that's another axis, so how people would be able to use that with their existing systems.
Right, well, so now we also implemented bridge mode. So that you can now take two controllers, link them together, and you can now operate 6 axes. So that would be pan, tilt, slide, zoom, focus, and iris if you wanted to do that as well.
So what's the setup on that? How would somebody just jump into that mode?
Yeah, so once you plug the two together through the expansion port, you would just go into one controller and set it up as a master, whichever one you wanted, and the other is a slave. And once you've done that, you just set your keyframes as you always would. You can either use the controller separately to do that, or in your master controller, just by double-clicking shift, will then take control of the slave controller. So that also allows you to remotely mount 2 controllers if you wanted to, and still have control of the slave from a distance away.
So what, with up to 6 axes of controls across 2 units, what things would people be potentially using that for?
Mostly for the the ability to pull focus, zoom, for time lapse, or even just doing interviews. If you don't have the slider, the angle you want to where if it is shooting shallow, where the camera would be going outside of the focal plane, you can now be pulling focus. Or you could have it to where as you're doing your interview, you can do push-ins and that type of thing.
Okay. So we're still using the manual control of the unit itself.
Sure.
I know you've talked about the possibility of implementing chaos software in that. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that's not out yet, but we're working on that very strong right now, and we hope to have that out sometime this summer. It's going to be our Wi-Fi backpack, and that will just be another interface device that will magnetically stick on the back of the controller and allow you to connect our Chaos Opera from cine drive and have all the capabilities of cine drive now on this small platform.
So what would be, with that, what would somebody decide or lean towards a cine drive system versus going with a second shooter?
Mostly like if you're shooting DSLR or your smaller lightweight cameras, or you need more portability. Cine drive is a very heavy duty system made for high-end visual effects work, larger camera rigs, kind of the ultimate in the motion control from the physical side of it, 10 axis, that type of thing. So most people don't need all of that. So this is just more it's going to be more affordable. It's going to be geared more towards things like DSLRs and smaller cameras. So if that's you, then this would be your better way to go.
All right, Eric, I saw this. It really caught my attention. I'm excited about it. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking
this is
at.
a hybrid dolly slider, I guess you'd say. Basically, we took our, let me say what it's called. It's Shuttle Dolly. And what it is the same upper deck of the shuttle pod, with the dolly wheels that we've been making for our flex track system. And what this is going to gear towards your larger format guys, shooting big heavy rigs where you need the ultimate in stability. This is going to give it to you. Use a standard 1.25" speed rail, very available. We have it, or it's pretty much everybody has it. You can go to a hardware store or metal shop and get 1.25" pipe. It's going to clamp on. What makes our system a little unique is the modularity. You can have a Mitchell mount, you can have a cheese plate. We make all the different adapters. We have a riser that will go underneath, so you can actually fly a camera over something. You can motorize it. We have a motor mount available for it, as well as this drag module. So you can just bolt this on. Now you have the same fluid drag control that you do on a lot of our sliders, which is going to give you that nice feel and control. On our M blocks, we have tons of mounting capabilities for rigging this thing any way somebody would want to, and also with these safety grabbers here that allows you to use this at an angle, and it's going to be completely safe. It will not come off of these rails.
So, I mean, what I like is that you've implemented your pulley system here with the drag control. It's keeping the slider in motion, but you're not using a motion control system right now with it. So there's that stability that you're maintaining with the system also on an incline. That usually, if you're using an incline, you got to hold the camera, make sure that it's not.
Well, this also will act as a brake.
Right.
Yeah, so you can lock that down.
So that's awesome that you don't have to motorize it if you want to be on an incline. I mean, that's something that you can't really see elsewhere.
Right. And also the shuttle pod outrigger legs will work on this as well. So it's going to, if you want to do some real low work, you don't have to get the Apple boxes out and that type of thing. So a lot of versatility.
All right. So I have a shuttle pod. I have the dolly wheels. You guys are famous for your erector set mentality. Can I piece this together then
Absolutely.
myself?
Yeah, absolutely. Once we turn this on our website, we'll be able to have the individual components. And really all these are these little brackets on each corner. You'll probably need to buy a fourth. I think you probably only have 3 dolly trucks. You'll need a fourth one. And if you choose that you want the grabbers, it's all kind of a la carte. So I'm sure we'll have kits available for people retrofitting their current systems.
Awesome. What's the availability and price point for the system?
This in a kit here of a cart and M block, kind of your basic starting kit, it's going to start around the $1,100 to $1,200 range, and should be available in May.
Okay.
Yep, they're in full production.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for your time, Eric.
Thank you.
Thanks to our sponsors for making our NAB coverage possible.